There was once a fisherman named Kavi who lived by a quiet lake surrounded by hills. Each morning he would row out to the middle of the lake, cast his net, and wait. For years this rhythm defined his life. Cast, wait, pull, repeat. But one morning Kavi's net caught on something deep below. No matter how hard he pulled, the net wouldn't budge. He struggled until his arms burned, until sweat dripped into the calm water. Yet the net refused to move. Frustrated, Kavi sat back in his boat and looked out at the water. For the first time in a long while, he didn't rush to untangle the problem. He simply stopped. The lake, so often ignored, seemed different. He noticed how still it was, how the morning light turned it gold, how the hills reflected perfectly on its surface. And then it struck him. All this time he'd been so focused on pulling, on catching, on fighting against the resistance that he'd never really seen the lake. He had missed the beauty that was always right in front of him. Kavi sat there for hours, the net still caught, but his frustration melting away. He realized that letting go didn't mean giving up. It meant releasing the struggle and seeing what had been there all along. The harder he had pulled, the more he had missed the simplicity, the stillness, the quiet joy of just being on the water. As he stopped fighting the net, the tension loosened. It drifted free, untangling itself without his effort. And for the first time in years, Kavi rowed back to shore empty-handed, yet more fulfilled than ever. In life, we often struggle against invisible weights. We cling to expectations, to outcomes, to old stories we think define us. But what if the real freedom comes from letting go? What if, like Kavi, we stopped pulling so hard and simply let the stillness show us the way? The sages have long taught that true peace comes not from holding on, but from releasing. Osho spoke of dropping the ego to find our true selves. Yogananda taught that surrendering to the divine will brings the greatest joy. Ramana Maharshi showed us that by letting go of the mind's struggles, we can discover the silence of the self. The lesson of the fisherman's net isn't about losing something, it's about gaining clarity. When we let go of the struggle, we gain the present moment. We see beauty, we find peace. And ultimately, we realize that everything we need is already here. If this story spoke to you, share your reflections below. And if you're ready to explore more lessons of letting go, subscribe and join us on this journey. Beyond time, beyond struggle, beyond the nets we hold on to.